Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Oakland Raiders. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Switch! Jim! Switch!
Protein spill!
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Max Crosby in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Easy.
Here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down. A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. On second and 11 now. Cousins trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. Taking it right down Broadway. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Ryan Grant, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
14.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the... Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Switch up.
2nd and 5 now. Kaiser. This is caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Tyrell Williams. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Throwing, Cousins. Josh Doxson's got it complete. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go.
And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. He's going deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Antonio Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Washington. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Hey, check.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Well, it's Washington. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
First down, Raiders.
A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on third down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last third down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Kaiser now. Oh, Kaiser can't get away, and he'll go down. Emerson Griffin on the sack, taken to the fourth round back in 2010. What a steal.
And it's third down.
So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's third and long. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
It's a gain of 22 yards. That's good for a Vikings first down. First and 10.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. A pretty wild first quarter, 21-7, our score. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a first and 10.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Lots 59. Lots 59.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to wind up in air. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Xavier Rhodes makes the tackle.
2 yards on the pickup.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. Here's Kaiser. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 34. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Following the interception, Kaiser. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Caught left side, Williams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A. where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
First down, Raiders.
A 1st down throw for Kaiser. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Running it, Washington. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
3rd and long for Kaiser. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. The kick by Carlson is good. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get... And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Cleveland Farrell, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Max Crosby in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on the punt. Back deep, J.J. Nelson. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And the Cowboys now, they've opened things up in that one. I would definitely imagine we'll hear more from that game as we go along. They go play action here on 1st down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
It's second down.
Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Now Kaiser. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Tyrell Williams with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play fake. Cousins. This will be caught once again by Brown. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
That's another Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do. And
Kaiser hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
But that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. They'll throw here. Kaiser able to find Waller. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. On first, here's Washington. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
On 2nd and 11 now. Kaiser. It's brought in by Kevin White. 16 yards, a first down.
A gain of 16 yards. First down, Raiders.
I got you.
On first down, it's Washington. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Kaiser. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. From the red zone now, Kaiser buying time to his left. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
Terrific coverage in the end zone that time. Forced him out of the pocket to his right. I thought maybe try and run it there, but no one came open for him. Nice job by the defense of not getting out of their lanes.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Kaiser looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. On 3rd down, Kaiser to the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Hold on, chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on, what does that mean, break out the, just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball, but he's made some pretty bad decisions.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play too.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Cousins. Completes it right side to Doxson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Johnson, the intended target. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed?
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Daniil Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
All day, all day. Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. 64, wait. Hey, watch that, check Mike, 54.
On 3rd down, Kaiser, he's airing it out for Williams. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Out of his end zone, Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the end. And now here is another interception. Snags it for the pick. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Oh, this is becoming tough to watch. I don't know that I've seen 3 pick-6s from the same quarterback in the same game.
And I know that many are going to scream at the coach about why did you let him stay out there to throw those. But truthfully, what are the odds that you're going to throw 3 pick-6s in a game? You want to leave them out there so they can work through some of the rough stuff.
Let's go. The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll run on 1st down. Boom. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
Cousins on target to Diggs. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Maurice Hurst breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Cousins to throw it. Over the middle here to Brown. Now Brown, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Oakland, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for